Substantial investment has been allocated to the water sector by regional governments to ensure that access to safe drinking water and basic sanitation is achieved. However, corruption is said to be thrilling in the water sector, which undermines the investment plans. Opening a regional meeting for water sector mid-managers in Kampala, focusing on ethics and integrity among the sector players, Dr. Canisius Kanangire, the Lake Victoria Basin Secretariat's Executive Secretary, says that corruption in the water sector must be minimized since it affects many players.
Unethical practices have many negative impacts on the development and implementation of a project. And the issue is not only that people take money and put in their own pocket. It could be that you have used your relationship to have somebody in the project, but the somebody cannot deliver, which means you are losing, you are wasting the money of the project by that kind of practice.
The 2008 Transparency International Global Corruption Report indicates that 30% of the total investment in the water sector is lost to corruption. Corruption was found rooted on water, especially at the delivery chain, policy design, as well as the budgeting. And Cascao from the Swedish International Water Institute says it will be difficult for developing countries to attain the Millennium Development Goals as long as money directed to access safe water is still lost to corruption.
What the numbers shows, for example, and taking the East Africa region or Africa as a continent, is that in terms of access to water, so the supply, the numbers are quite positive. When one can say that there was a big investment. Anything related to sanitation, which involves more infrastructure, the numbers are not that positive, are not that optimistic. So I would say that it's very difficult to establish a linkage between one and another, but for sure if this 30% could be reduced to 0%, best case scenario, or 5%, the MDGs would be easier to achieve.
Players in the sector are trying to devise means of strengthening transparency, accountability and participation in water governance through reforms and practical applications geared towards attaining MDGs ahead of 2015. Venex Watebawa, WBC News, Kampala.